Hello and welcome to another edition of True Audio Files. Before I get into the topic at hand today, I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but I love the response I've been getting, so I'm going to be continuing to do this for a little while longer anyway. First things first, if you're on Facebook, I would love to have you join my group that I've created. It's True Audio Files, just like it's spelled here. We've been gaining some momentum with a bunch of people joining up and contributing, and I'm loving every minute of it. I have not been able to contribute as much this week because I had a business trip I had to be on, but I am happy to see that some people have taken up the slack for me, so I really appreciate that, and I really look forward to seeing more people on there and more people contributing as well. Also, for those of you newer to this video channel or my channel here, the records I have behind me typically are records that are new releases, whether they be new music or new reissues. So we've got three new ones here this week that I have here. I got a couple other ones as well, but they weren't technically new, so I don't always post these. And I got a bunch of new ones as my topic for this week's video. So I went to one of my favorite places when I go to my corporate headquarters for where I work, and they're sort of on the way home. Actually, they're pretty much on the way home. They're up in Littleton, Massachusetts. They're called the Vinyl Vault. They have probably one of the larger selections of jazz and blues that I've seen, and they've got a great selection of all the other stuff too. But it's very impressive the amount of jazz and blues they have. Basically, I think I spent an hour and a half there. Could have spent more, I don't remember, but it was right around an hour and a half. And I basically went through their new arrival section and maybe half of the jazz section. And that's really the only thing I had time for. Just to give you an idea of the selection, the size of the selection they have. So we'll start off with the single that I got from there, which is not jazz, but there's a couple of non-jazz things in here, but overall it was probably 80-90% jazz. So the first one I have here is Vanity 6 single. This is Bite the Beat. For those of you who don't know, Vanity 6 was a side project that Prince created back in the early 80s, and typically wrote most, if not all, of the music for that album and that project. That particular side A was not written by him, though, but most of the other stuff was, and he was producer and things like that for the group, though, too. So that was a really cool pickup. I don't think I've ever seen that. I would love to see if there's a picture sleeve version, because that'd be pretty awesome. This one seemed interesting. I have never seen it before. It's called The Giants of Jazz. So it's got Art Blakey, Dizzy Gillespie, Al McKibben, I'm not familiar with, but Thelonious Monk, Sonny Stitt, and Kai Winding. This is a German pressing of it. It's a live recording recorded in London. So I'll be very interested to hear that one. I have not seen that one out in the open, and it was a pretty affordable release, so it's kind of cool. The next few are Japanese pressings, which most of them you should be able to tell that. But first one here is Billie Holiday. I think it's Stay With Me. Yeah, they keep blocking off parts of it. But yeah, Stay With Me by Billie Holiday. I love Billie Holiday. She's one of my favorite jazz vocalists. So just so much emotion, raw emotion in there, and just awesome. Next one up is Eric Dolphy, a artist that I've grown to really appreciate over the past year or two. I have a original mono promo pressing of this, but it's not in the greatest of condition. But this is a early Japanese pressing and it's stereo, so I'm really looking forward to being able to check that one out. Next one, Ella Fitzgerald, Ella at Duke's Place. So it's Ella and Duke Ellington. Love both of them very much. And I might have this. I have variations of it because I think they've done several albums together, but that one's a pretty cool one. And again, it's a Japanese pressing. This one I've never seen before, but it's Billie Holiday, Jazz at the Philharmonic. So very excited to check that one out. It should be cool. I keep saying I'm excited to check these out. I should be excited to check these out. I bought them, right? So next one up is the Dizzy Gillespie Story, which has some combos that have Milt Jackson and Ray Brown and James Moody, some other people. It's got some big band stuff, so I'm a little bit skeptical about it, but I am excited to check it out and see what it sounds like. It was pretty inexpensive. Another pretty inexpensive one. I think Dizzy Gillespie, I think, doesn't really get enough credit in the jazz scene in terms of people searching out his music, because it always seems to be relatively inexpensive. So here's another one. Have Trumpet Will Excite. So another affordable one. This was on Verve. This is a stereo one. So it looks like it was a cutout. I don't know if it's... Oh, and it says it's Japanese, too, which I didn't even notice that before now. So that's pretty exciting. Next up is Coleman Hawkins. Today and Now, Coleman Hawkins Quartet. Pretty cool on Impulse. This one I've never seen before, so I'm kind of curious as to what this will be like, but it's John Coltrane, Turning Point, The Bethlehem Years. It was a pretty inexpensive album, so I'm going to be very, very curious to see what this is all about. It's a promo copy as well, too, so we'll see what that one sounds like. One of my very few non-jazz titles here, so sorry for those jazz fans. I'm sure most of you probably won't appreciate this, but it's the Fat Boys. The Fat Boys are back. I have never seen this album before. I have at least a couple of their previous albums, but I do not have that one, so it's interesting. Next one, which I know is going to be a little bit of a difficult listen, and I'm not as big of a fan of the kind of the freestyle jazz stuff, but my understanding is this is one of those titles, and it's Meditations by John Coltrane. And this was in really good condition, so get to check that out as well. I've been really getting into this artist lately. The jacket was beat to hell, but the vinyl was in perfect condition. One of the advantages to buying the Tone Poet and Classic Vinyl series is getting into some newer artists that you aren't all that familiar with, and this was one of them with Jimmy Smith, Root Down, live. So I'm very excited to try to check this one out, and hopefully I will like that one. This one was sort of the jewel of the group in the sense of its rarity and value. So. And I was very excited because it's in really good shape. I'm not familiar with the album itself, but I know the artist very well, and it's an early stereo, which hopefully is done well. But it's basically Junior Wells, Chicago's blues band, Hoodoo Man Blues. So still has the original $3.99 price label on it. I think this is a first pressing, or at least a early pressing, and it is in really good condition for its age. So very, very cool. I look forward to that one as well as I do all the others. This one I was apprehensive about because it was sealed, and I don't know if you've heard my rants, for lack of a better word, but I'm not a huge new old stock sealed record purchases because I find most of the time there's some sort of an issue with them, whether warping is usually the number one reason, but in this particular case on this run that I had, I think I had 3 or 4 sealed records that I bought, and every one of them had some sort of visual issue with them. I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that they will sound okay and they'll play fine, but this is one of them, one of the more expensive ones that I bought sealed, which is John Coltrane Concert in Japan. I have never seen this one before, so I'm excited to check this out. It's got Pharoah Sanders, Alice Coltrane on it, Jimmy Garrison, Rashid Ali. So very excited to check out what this one's going to be like. I think that I'm hoping it's going to be really cool, and I hope the visual issues that are on it will not affect the play. So next one is a newer Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. There's virtually no one in this group that I'm familiar with, but it was pretty inexpensive. It was again sealed, so I figured I'd give it a try and check it out. I hope I enjoy that one. Another Eric Dolphy one I'm really looking forward to checking this out because I've heard some great things about it, and it's Iron Man. This was another one that was sealed, but we'll see, what it sounds like. Again, looked at it visually, it looks awful. It reminds me of some of the current release pressings. It just looks like it was a bad pressing, but cross my fingers that it doesn't affect the play much, if at all. So this one was an interesting one. This is Art Farmer and Joe Henderson. It's called Yama. The thing that really intrigued me, besides the people that are on it that I like, Art Farmer and Joe Henderson, is the fact that it is got a big sticker on it that says mastered by Rudy Van Gelder, or it says mastered by Van Gelder. Direct cut from original analog. And it looks like it obviously says it was not done in 1982. So I'm excited to check this out. I like the artist. I like the person who cut the record. He usually does a pretty tremendous job. So I hope I really like this one. We'll see though. Once you start getting into like the late 70s and early 80s, some of the, in my opinion at least, some of the jazz starts to get a little iffy. Like it starts to sound like Kenny G-ish, which I'm not a fan of, like the light jazz stuff. So hopefully that's not the case with that one. It definitely has, the cover definitely gives that as a potential for this. So I'm hoping that that is not the case. So last, and maybe or maybe not least, depending on your opinion, especially if you're mainly tuning in for the jazz titles, I got Cebu Motto, Know Your Chicken. For those of you from the 90s who are fans of the 90s music, you'll probably know this one. It's a Japanese all-girl band, semi-punkish, and it's just fun music, and this one is, I think, their most well-known record that came out, and this is a promo DJ copy of, it's basically a single. It's got 3 tracks on it, and I thought it was kind of fun. It was cheap, and I really like the song, and I think they're fun to listen to, so I had to pick it up. So that was my awesome haul for the week. Again, I got it at Vinyl Vault in Littleton, Massachusetts, and just unbelievably great guy that owns the place. His name is Greg, and everybody that works there is awesome. But he takes care of me because I shop there a lot. When pre-COVID, I was going there at least 2 or 3 times a year and dropping a big chunk of change like I did here. And I've gotten some great titles and just awesome stuff. So that is my video for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Have you got any great titles recently that you want to share with me? Leave it in the comment sections, or visit me on my Facebook page and share, or True Audiophile Facebook page. It's everybody's page, right? But I run it. So, but share your new stuff that you got this week with me there, or in the comments section on this video. So that is everything. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked what you saw here, hit that like button. If you want to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know when my new videos come out, hit that alert notification. All of those things help to grow my channel and get me out there more people. So I would really appreciate that. And thank you very much, and you have a great one.